Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? It's Mboni Vigod of the Preacher Man here, welcoming you to our seventh episode of God's People Today. With me today, I have some lovely guests, and I'll give them this time to introduce themselves. Madam, I'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Nyasha. I'm known as Wenyasha. I'm a mom of two lovely babies, and yeah, I'm a brand strategist and content creator. Yes, Christian content creator. So basically, that's what I do. I'm also the founder of Blossom Conference, and yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief.
Hi everyone, my name is Kodzai Chokmanyara. I think a lot of people know me as Chokes, which is the shortcut for Chokmanyara. When you have a long surname, people
tend to
exactly to make it a bit user friendly.
Yes.
So Yanyasha said she's a mom. I'm a husband.
Wonderful.
This time I heard someone say I'm
Yes, I'm a
husband.
husband. Above everything else, above everything else, I'm a husband.
Nice.
I'm a Christian.
Yes.
I do a bit of writing. I haven't published yet, but I have a bit of few manuscripts that I've drafted. And also, I'm not a content creator, but I do a lot of following and evaluating of content. So sometimes I don't post my evaluations, but I just go through content and I'm like, this could have gone this way. This could have gone this way. So I think, that's much about me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through.
Thank you.
And today we're going to discuss a bit about content creation. I need to know from your perspective, guys. Ms. Nimongo, I'll start with you. Is it necessary for Christians to be, because content creation has been associated with people who are lazy academically, who are trying to find a shortcut into fame and popularity, and now we have seen a significant rise of Christian content creators. So how much of significance is it, like how important is it for us as a community to have content creators?
You know what? I'm someone who has how I got into content creation in the first place. I studied journalism and media studies, so I have a degree in journalism and media studies. And then from there, I majored in PR. And then from there, I guess it was just God ordering my path into social media content creation, because I then went into advertising. From there, that's how I ended up doing content for work, right? But then along the way, I realized that I just had a knack for Facebook back then. I won't reveal my age, but then I had a knack for Facebook, right? I would post, write down posts. Then the next thing I was now blogging. But for that whole journey, for me, at some point, made me realize that we need more Christian voices out there, especially when I became a mom.
Okay.
Yes, especially when I became a mom. I think it became something that just hit me. But you know what? We have a lot of people producing content, right? Putting out content out there. Specifically for me, if I follow you, you have value. If I follow you, you have value. I don't just follow anyone or everyone. At some point, I unfollowed a whole list of people. Why? Because they were contributing negatively to me. The person might not be bad, right? Get me right on that. The person might not be bad, but to me, they were contributing negatively, right? So from there onwards, that's when I was like, you know what? I need more people who speak into my life, people who water into my life. And I took it upon myself to say, you know what, if I'm looking for people who water into my life, probably I'm that voice someone is looking for to water into their lives. So for me, it's not just about I'm posting my little vlog with my kids. I'm posting for that mom who just had a baby or who just had a second kid and has no clue of how to balance life, work, even their prayer life. That's why you see me sometimes worshiping with my babies in the vlogs. You see me because to truth be told, sometimes I go for a long time without finding time to kneel and pray. But in between the day, I can find time to worship with my babies. We pray, we do whatever we do, we worship. But I just didn't find an hour to say I'm alone. But I've just had 2 hours with my babies where we are just praising and worshiping God. So that's where it comes from.
That's interesting. That's it. Also, you then capture the moment where we are just creating an atmosphere with your kids, praising God, just as a source of inspiration for someone someone who's watching all this. That's very intriguing. Chokes. So, my brother, I need to know, as a husband, you've probably seen most couples having channels. I actually do have one with my wife. What has been your evaluation in terms of the things that are represented out there? Because as a Christian, you have certain values that you stick to, and then there's this thing. Extreme feminism is just bad. This is my opinion. I don't know what's yours, but can you speak on that? Because I feel like there are so many content creators, couples specifically, who have begun to do or to make certain narratives trend. Some of them which might not be something that we might actually agree to as husbands, as Christians as well. Can you just give us your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think the starting point would be the honest truth that we can't deny is we are a very digital world, and life happens on social media. I could count a good example. Today I met someone in TMO. I've known them on social media for years. I've interacted with them. I know they post content about working out, and their content has inspired me to even start going to the gym and wanting to eat healthy. But I've only met them in person today, and it was only for 2 minutes. So you can then realize how much of inspiration people get from social media. So think of the number of people that follow you, the number of people you communicate with. But that also tells you that there are a lot of lessons that people get out of social media, whether you like it or not. And there are a lot of even behavior, mannerisms that we then get from social media. I've met little kids sing along to songs on social media. So I think it's important when you have Christian couples who then also have content that they put out there. Because what it does is, as you're scrolling on your social media, most of the time you're coming across content, like you said, that you're like, this is a bit toxic, this is extreme, this is against my values. But I think the only challenge that we have is we don't have enough Christians who have content that is online. So that when I scroll, I'm not only coming across girls who are dancing naked online, but I'm also coming across mothers who are posting about their children. I'm not only coming across women who are saying, hey, marriage is bad, men are cheaters, but I'm also coming across husbands and wives who are also enjoying marriage. And you know what that then does to a lot of people? Once I come across frequently content of happy couples, of Christian couples, of couples that pray and worship together, you get inspired with, so in a world where we think, men don't pray, they're actually men who are praying with their wives. In a world where we think, even if you're married, most of the time you need to go out and spend with your boys and stuff. There are also men out there who are also doing this. So I think what then social media does is, that whole thing of socialization, how we are socialized, you're socialized in your family, you go to your community. I think there's another layer of social media. So as long as we don't have enough Christians who also create content that promotes Christian values, it means the generation that's coming, that's learning a lot from social media, will not have enough content to learn from. I could tell you a very good example. If you were to run a random survey amongst young people, a young person could spend 6 months without reading a book, but they can't spend a day without going on social media. So it means, in as much as we then end up having Christians who've got content on social media, even if our young people, even if us, even as, well, I'm not older, but even as the generation that's recently married and even our adults, if they don't read a Christian book, but they can come across a Christian channel. So instead of reading a book about, how do young couples navigate challenges of marriage, I could go to your your
Page
YouTube
and then
page, your Facebook
channel.
page, or your channel,
Yeah.
and then I see. And the beauty about social media is, I think sometimes it's a bit more realistic than your books. If I am to write a book today about my experiences, maybe as a Christian, I have the time to edit. You know, it goes through peer review.
Yeah.
There's a publisher who's going to edit, take out stuff.
Yeah.
But the videos that you make with your wife, yes, the editing that you're going to do is there, but it's more realistic, it's more relatable. So in a world where people really read and stuff, I think what we then have on social media necessitates the need for Christians to have so much content. Like you said, your kids, I'm sure by the time they get to 5 years, they know how to scroll on Instagram, they know how to use TikTok. So what are they going to find on TikTok? But if you're going to direct them to pages that have Christian content, rest assured, instead of them singing vulgar, they're going to be singing Christian songs. Instead of them coming across content that's like very worrying, they're going to come across content that then promotes Christian values as well. So it's very necessary that we start to also have so much Christian content online.
That's deep. That's deep. So Ms. Nemongwe, maybe to you, from what they say is nowadays more people are more visual. Yeah, because reading is that even I didn't really enjoy my high school, neither college reading. Reading is quite. But when you can see something online and then you watch the video, you remember stuff.
You remember that thing.
So with people now being more visual, I also know that most Christians, they are a bit reserved. They don't want to show their private life. Even me starting this thing with my wife, we're a bit concerned. Are we really sure? Because like there's always this mentality that if you expose yourself, so it can always be misinterpreted. Whatever you are doing, what advice can you give to content creators in general who are Christians, be it couples, be it a mom, a father, or just a husband, in each and every space? What advice can you give them with regards to that issue of wanting to be private and no one knowing whatever I'm doing? Of course, I'm not saying give out everything, but I'm saying not many people are stepping out because of that thing of wanting to be private.
You know what? Something that I would say is God did not call us to hide our light, right? We are the salt of this earth, right? We are a light, and the Bible says that you do not put a light and cover it
with a bushel. Yes.
So for me, that's the thing I would say, to say, you know what's the cost of putting out your video out there? People, it might go viral, and people might come after you. Comment section, people are mean out there. People are mean, but you know what? What's also the cost of not doing that? If God is calling you to put out your life, I believe there's grace attached to it. One thing I realized after having my second baby is that God just revealed to us, me and my husband, that there's a certain grace that had been allocated to us specifically after this child's birth. Grace to launch into media spaces, right?
Wow.
And you realize that I took my vlogs a bit more seriously after my second baby. Right? And my page, my TikTok was kind of going on well. Soon after, I was posting my mom vlogs, I was posting my mom content. One of the things that I realized was, you know what? Yes, but why do we believe so much in the power of more than the power
of God? Yes.
of God?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, you know what, God? Not to say that everyone should put out their kids out there. The world is not safe, but
Guys, that disclaimer has been put.
yes.
Remember, these points, they are coming after that disclaimer has been put.
Yes.
Yes.
So if God is instructing you, there's grace for every instruction, right? Chakashata ndechokuti you say, I'm not going to do this. What if people bash me? They can bash you if you're usina zvawamboita. The world is so mean. Wangoposta picture rako with your wife, maenda kunodya paka restaurant, vanhu vakutoti honai madiko hairstyle yacho. I'm sure there's a couple that we know. I'm not going to drop names. There's a couple. I even sat down to ask myself, why are people like this? The moment they just put out their pictures, people are after the wife. People are after the wife. Time and again. And you wonder, all right, I've not done anything really bad. They didn't do anything bad, but I think it also comes at a cost. So as a Christian, I would say, at what cost are you trading your obedience or your disobedience? There's a cost to both. So weigh your options. If you're moving in obedience, you'd rather get bashed when you know, I'm following God's instruction. I'm following what's on my heart. Someone might say, and now it's audible voice, do this. But that impression on your heart to say, go on social media, put your life out there, post my pictures, write a book, whatever it is, that impression. The moment you go against it, you feel, hey, you feel discontent in your life. So I would say there's grace for every assignment. Yes.
Yeah, so you guys should take courage on that. There's grace for every assignment. Chief, now, what can you say with someone who has gone through cyberbullying? Like what she said, people are mean out there. You post something, you probably thought it was a good picture, and then probably maybe your shoe was not, again, dust for some reason, or maybe you didn't really see, and then someone spotted it, and then like pop in the comment section. So, Seba, how can someone? Let's say someone has taken courage from what she said, and then now they go there in faith, and then they start. But immediately when they start, they now face this kind of negative kind of support within their channel.
Negative support.
Yes, negative support. It's still support in the sense, because it's support in the sense the more comments you get, the more reach you're gonna get.
Exactly.
But it's negative.
It's negative.
You don't want people to see this negative. Yes. That's why I was trying to. So how can someone deal with cyberbullying? Because
I think once you decide to exist in social media spaces, you need thick skin. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. Because you also have, firstly, you have people who give genuinely negative comments. Then there are people who joke with negative comments because they also want to just create conversation out of it. So I think you need thick skin. That's the honest truth. And like she said, you don't even attract negative comments. You post the Bible verse. Someone comments, but I've not done anything.
You didn't even do anything.
I've just posted a Bible verse. You post yourself in church, people are like, camera day. You're like, but I'm just things like that. So I think you need thick skin. That's number one. Number two, I think, like she said, most of the times when you post things online, you have a conviction. So I'll give you an example. There are some times when I post something after 4 days. Like I remember I posted recently something about how sacred hymns are. It's a very short thing I posted. But you know what happens is I had the idea and I was like, you know what? At first I thought I'm going to offend people who have been having fights about hymns and choruses and
of course. Yeah.
So I think I spent a whole week without posting, but I already had the text, I had the picture to it. But I remember one morning around 5 a.m. before I went out, I was like, let me just post it. And today I met someone who was like, I read what you posted, you know what? So it's very inspiring and stuff. That's one person. So I think sometimes you need to tell yourself that in as much as I'm going to get 10 negative comments, but I think what I'm going to post is that one person. Posting online is like preaching. You can preach to a congregation of 70 people. And 69 of them might be like,
it's enough.
But there could be one person that you were sent to speak to. So I think that's the kind of attitude you need to have, that, you know what, I'm posting this out of the conviction information that God wants me to say this.
Yes.
Because I'm assuming people who are watching this podcast are Christians.
Yeah, of course.
And we are existing. You know, we are not part-time Christians. That's the other thing. We are not Christians at church. We're on social media. We are something else.
Something else.
We carry our Christianity everywhere. So I think once you know I'm posting this because it has motivated me, it has convicted me of something. So I'm now posting it for another person to see what has convicted me, what has convinced me. Yes, it could be a video of you dancing with your kids, but you don't know the kind of impact it will have to another mom who is depressed, who doesn't know what to do with their kids, to another mom who's disengaged from their children and doesn't know what to do, to another mom who doesn't know, I can actually dance with my kids, I can do this with my kids. So I think the second thing is, besides having thick skin, is to just know I am doing this for someone else, despite the negative comments that are going to come. And also, I think, you know, if you are not strong enough, I've seen people turn off comment sections. I think that's also important. When you post and you know that you can't take it, and you know I can't take, turn off comment section. Let people watch if they have negative comments. Unless they are going to have the thick skin to come to your inbox and tell you that's another layer and I could block you and stuff like that. But turn off comment section. I think the point I'm trying to make is don't let cyberbullying stop you from getting the message out there. Because it's the same with even motivational speakers, right? How many times have we read a book and we're like, this is a boring book. But the person has written their book, they have published it. So I think have thick skin, but also be grounded on what is the purpose of my posting? Unless if you are posting for good comments, then be affected by the negative ones. But I think don't let negative comments stop you. Think more about, you know what, I've got this thing I've been thinking. I've been thinking of posting a song. I've been thinking of posting my, you know, a lot of people underestimate the kind of impact that people behind the screens feel from what we post. Do you know you could post a picture with your babies? There's someone who doesn't have a child who sees the picture and they're like, God, if you're doing this for other people, then that can happen to me. You could post a picture with your wife. There's a wife who's got a husband who can afford it but has never done it. But when they see it, they're like, it can also happen. There's a young person, but it's like, is chicken in worth it? So there are things that we think are too small to post or very insignificant because we fear bullying, but we don't know put on the reverse. They also have impact on someone else. Even, you know, a lot of times we are scared to even post Christian content. This could my holier than thou. But you know, put the same one that you could download a short clip, a 5-minute video on TikTok and post it on your account, repost it, put it on your status. Could be the only sermon that someone is going to hear that week. Someone is not going to church, they don't go to church, but that is the only thing they're going to come across. So if you're going to focus on, people are going to say holier than thou, people are going to say church boy, people are going to say this, you also deprive the people who are motivated, inspired by what you post.
This is powerful. This is beautiful. And unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I'm going to leave you guys with, you know, at most a minute or so to just give you parting words over the discussion that we've had. And you know, Chokes, we are still waiting for the books.
Please.
To come
There's
through.
A lot of depth there.
Yes. I don't know what's stopping you, men of God, but whatever it is, please make sure that is dealt with, so that 2026 people will be able to get rid of your books. Because I'm gonna start with you. Please remember after you're done with your parting words, also share your socials, so that some of those in the some of our viewers will also be able to check out your pages as well, and they can learn a lot from that. So I'm gonna give you this time.
Okay, so what I would say is, you know, it feels if when someone says parting words, but
It's only because of this episode. The producer now told me, hey, we got to waste time up.
All right. So what I would say is that, you know what, at the end of the day, not everyone is called for the pulpit. Not everyone is called to hold a mic and hold crusades. So when you feel that nudge in your heart, please go ahead, just do it. There's a lot at stake. Even Jesus himself faced criticism during his days. I can imagine back then it could have been someone saying, "Oh, that carpenter's son, ha ha ha." Hashtag.
Yes.
boy turns Christ, boy turns Messiah, and everyone was just visualize the Bible from a social media perspective, and people will be taking pictures of him healing the sick. Did this actually happen? No, this is AI. It's staged, yeah. But guess what? We're still talking about that guy 2025 years later. That simple act of obedience of saying, I'm going to go into the world and die for these people and live like a human. So never underestimate the task that you have at hand. It might not come as a full-blown picture, but probably that day God is saying to you, post this on your WhatsApp status. It's just your WhatsApp status, but that could be the message someone needs in that moment. So yeah, that is it from me. Please follow me at Itswenyasha on TikTok and on Instagram, then Nyasha Trish Nemongwe on Facebook.
Yes. And she also has a YouTube channel.
Oh yes.
Wenyash.
Yeah, I hope to be back 2026.
You're the one who you inspired me to also start the YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yes.
So a few words. I think she said most of the things I would have said. But I think I think someone once said to me, you could be, when you preach, that could be the last sermon someone will hear before they die. Yeah. That could be the only sermon someone could hear from you. So I also think when we talk about posting on social media, I think first thing, let's also encourage responsible posting. Yeah. Because a lot of the times, yes, we are Christians, but we don't post responsibly. We don't reshare responsibly. So think about the things as a Christian that you reshare, that you repost, that you comment, that you promote. You know, I love this. Someone who said, I posted my gospel song, edited few viewers. Yes. But when I posted about my family going to Dubai, there was so much reaction. Yeah,
so I think so much traction.
Exactly, so much traction. Yeah. So the same way, I think right now, if you were to post 5 minutes of an inspirational message, a sermon, you could have 5 likes. But the problem is, the problem is not with you posting that. I think also the problem is us as Christians in consuming Christian content. Yeah. We don't reshare, we don't repost, we don't like, we don't make noise about it. But we make noise about the world.
Other things, worldly things, worldly songs.
Exactly.
Drama, whatever.
Someone's pictures leaks. We reshare, we repost, we make a lot of noise about it. But we don't do the same about Christian content. So my parting words is, as Christians, let's reshare. I don't think it costs you nothing to reshare. It costs you nothing to repost.
You must look in the camera and tell that to someone.
It costs you nothing to reshare,
nothing
to repost,
nothing
to comment amen,
nothing.
Comment section. You know, those are the things that then create traction on our Christian content. So most of the times we act like Christian content is not there. It is there, but we just don't share. We don't comment. Exactly.
This is the 7th episode. You have not even shared with anyone. You haven't followed. You haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel. What are you doing? And you expect the gospel to go all over the world.
Exactly.
Thank you so
in
much.
Short, follow Christian pages, reshare, repost, also create Christian content when you can. You know, if you're not I'm personally not a videos person. I'm very camera shy. Like, it took me a lot of courage to accept.
It was a move of the spirit for you to actually say yes.
But if you're someone who writes, you know, just type in 4 lines, just reshare. You know, it's very simple things that we could do on social media that could make Jesus trend.
Yes.
You've gone to church, there's a sermon today. Just post 2 lines. Just take a selfie with a church to inspire other younger people. But you know what? They say young people no longer love God. But we are here. Take selfies at church, post them. Even if they get 2 likes, but those 2 people who've liked have seen and have been inspired. Wonderful. So that would be my parting words.
Wonderful. Powerful stuff. Thank you so much, Chokes. Thank you so much, Mr. Nemongwe. It was lovely having you guys here. So guys, I don't think I need to stress this point any much longer than I used to do in other episodes. But all I can tell you is, like, share, comment, and subscribe. More stuff is going to come through. So thank you so much for watching. All we can say is peace. Thank you so much, guys.
We are God's people. to stay.